let's start our live session. This is for the Electronic Village online, and for our session Scientific Literacy and CLIL, brought to you by Center for Research on Bilingual Education. And we are in our last week, and I am very happy to be able to invite two teachers. Alan Chen is an English teacher trying to teach science, right? But he has he loves science, and he loves plants, and he'll introduce himself later on. And we hear Lulu is our science teachers trying to use English to teach science. And so Lulu is from Zhongzhen Elementary School, and both of them are in the a bilingual in-service professional development program offered by Taipei City. And I had the pleasure to be able to observe their classes. So that's why I've invited them to come and give us, give a talk on how they plan their science lessons. Okay. So Alan and Lulu, would you like to introduce yourselves? You guys.
Yeah, at first.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Hello, I'm Lulu. I'm a creative experiment planner with solid classroom management skills, and I have 5 years of experience teaching science. Today, I would like to share a lesson I taught last semester. Okay.
So my turn. How about? Yeah. Hello everyone. I'm Yen Fu Chen. You can also call me Ellen, and I'm a teacher in Minju Elementary School. I major in children's English education. Yeah, so actually, science is just my interest and my hobby, because I really, just like a professor said, I really like plants. I grow plants. So this semester I try to having a bilingual science lesson, and my unit will be air for grade 3. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, here we go. 那我就秀你投影片。Okay, here we go. Okay. It's a lesson on magnet. Language of learning. Magnet, attract, repel, and a magnetic field. This was a brand new for grade 3 students. They had some preliminary knowledge of magnet in Chinese, but I taught that unit in English. They knew. They knew 磁铁, the Chinese vocabulary. Well, they might know magnet is. Before I taught this lesson, I prepared a lot of teaching aids like English flashcards to help them understand the word that they had never seen or even heard before. I also prepared the slides of the lesson. On the first slide, I showed the word magnet and matching magnetic picture cards. Meanwhile, I also explained the characteristics of magnet. The first concept introduced was magnetic and non-magnetic object, and how some object could be picked up by a magnet in this classroom. I used my big magnet blackboard, which is real magnet behind the board. I asked my students if the blackboard would be attracted to the magnet. What other objects could be magnetic? Refrigerator, students' iron pencil case, plastic ruler. I would usually ask students using yes or no questions before I tried it. And then I would say, okay, let's try it. Next, I picked one student and asked class if he could be attracted to the magnet. They laughed, they cracked up because they thought it was impossible. So I did a test and it was indeed impossible. The result was let my big magnet fell off. Then I asked students, how about me, Teacher Lulu? Take a guess. Most of the answers said, of course not. Some naughty children said, yes. So I put the big magnet close to my arm and let them witness the magnet attract to me. They were so surprised. I heard some students guess there must be a magnet on the teacher's arm. I say, I would tell you the secret after class. Because I secretly put a magnet on my arm. They didn't know it beforehand.
Lulu, can I interrupt?
Yes.
Can you go back to the last slide?
Okay.
Yes. I really liked your design of this big magnet sign with a real magnet behind it. I can still remember when you asked students to identify magnetic objects, they were going about all the classes pointing to places where they think would be attracted to magnet. And I think that, kids were having fun. And I vividly remember someone pointing to a teapot.
Yes, teapot, yes.
And then you tried it out on the teapot. Was it and it didn't stick? Was it the teapot or like the this other?
It's like the iron, but it's not iron.
Oh, so that teapot was made of iron. It was made of something else that wasn't made of iron, so it wasn't attracted to magnets.
Yeah.
And that piqued kids' curiosity. Like it was like, it looks like it's made of iron and it's metal, but it's not attracted to.
Yeah.
So I really like that your this activity where you go about trying the sign on different things. And I remember one of the students tried out her glasses.
Yeah, glasses.
So here, try this out. And also the pencil case, because they have those in Taiwan we use those iron pencil case, and they tried it out as well. So I really like this this activity, and the activity of a surprise in the very end where you stick it on your arm.
Yeah.
And having students guess if you're magnetic or not.
Yeah. So I tell them the secret. I will tell you after class.
Yes. Thank you. Sorry, I just like to add on to the my observation and how fun your class was at the time. Yeah. Thank you. Next.
Okay. Next. Okay. Next, I told the students that magnet attract, and repel. I used two magnet cards and exaggerative body language explain the students what attract and what repel each other. I say magnets can attract each other. Magnets can repel each other. It also said it cannot attract. Some students didn't know these English words, but some did. So I encouraged the students who knew this meaning to say this word in Chinese out loud to the other students who did not know. I would wait for them to respond. After my lessons was delivered, I played a video and animation about magnets. The main purpose is to let the students understand the topic again, following the native English speaker's pronunciation. Learning words like magnet, attract, and repel iron materials and magnetic fields that appeared in this video. These terms would be the vocabulary I taught in the beginning of this lesson. The video was intended to help students rehearse these new words and intensify their learning.
Yeah, I really like the video that you showed as well.
Yeah.
Can you provide us with the link so that we can watch it later on?
Okay.
They wanted to see the video, right?
Oh, okay.
It's just a picture.
Oh, that's just the screen.
Maybe we can search it later and
Yeah.
share
Maybe.
it to
Yes,
everyone.
Yeah, I will give everyone a link.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So for those who are watching us on Facebook Live, we have 13 participants on Facebook Live. Please come and join us on Zoom so that you can also ask us questions or grab the mic and talk to us in Zoom, because later on, after Lulu and Ellen introduce their lessons, we're gonna have a Q&A discussion live. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay, next.
Yeah.
The most important part of this lesson was the hands-on experiment. There are two magnetic sticks and some materials such as paper clips, binders, spring, spinners, plastic ruler, eraser, iron ring in every group. I asked the students to finish the worksheets after experiments. In the middle of their exploration, I observed whether their experiment was correct, and I encouraged those students with learning needs to try their best. Okay,
Can we go back to that slide? Sorry, I have tons of questions. So what are the things that you prepared in the basket for them to try out?
Some magnetic objects and some non-magnetic objects, and they can try. So the children hold the magnetic sticks, and then he tried. Okay.
Great.
The ultimate learning goal of the lesson is to encourage students to apply their knowledge learned to solve the problem they may encounter in everyday life. So I asked them a question. I accidentally knocked over a box of paper clips. I did knocked over them in front of students. They laughed because they thought the teacher Lulu did it intentionally, not accidentally.
Accidentally, yes.
Yeah. So what should I do? Should I pick them up one by one? It would take a lot of time. If it were a box of thumbtacks, wow, I would have to be more careful. So I would usually ask, who can help me? Let them think about the solution based on their previous learning, some students propose a method. Teacher Lulu, you can use a big magnet to attract them all. One of the students is very smart. She answered me completely in English, and then I responded that answer with a positive encouragement. Okay, let's do it. And I tried out what she suggests and demonstrate to the students. See, the magnet is attracting all the paper clips. My problem is solved. I then told the student, this suggestion was made by you on your own. You are a great help. And at the end of the lesson, I reviewed our worksheets with the students. I prepared a large poster ahead of time before the lesson. One part is magnetic, the other part is non-magnetic. I invite the students to come to the front and draw the cards to sort them into two categories. After each draw, they would show the card and some of the words. For example, spanner or paper clips or something. Then they would place it in the right category. Many students raised their hands and wanted to participate. I knew they understood the concept, but I usually selected specific students who did not raise their hands. The children's student would go to the front and I would ask him draw a card and then tell me whether it should belong to magnetic or non-magnetic. I did this to summarize the key points for the lesson, as well as to understand the students' comprehension of the concept. I do not ask my students to speak English all the time. They try to their best to use their limited English vocabulary they know to ask or answer my questions. I think it is very good. And the end of each class, I would reflect on my lesson plan and the delivery on the part that I was most satisfied with and the part that I needed to improve on. The problem from each case would require my rethinking for future improvements. I find such self-reflection to be more positive spiral phenomena to help guide my future teaching. Okay, thank you for your kind attention. 可是我没有听到声音。
Thank you so much for sharing, Lulu. Yeah. So does anyone have any questions for Lulu?
Any question?
You know, I really think that what I'm impressed with Lulu is that she is a science teacher. She's also a mom, she told me, and so and that she is willing to try to teach these lessons in English. And like what she said, the kids might have some knowledge of what 磁铁 is in Chinese, and they might already know some of these the functions of a magnet, but what they don't know is the English terms and of like magnet and attract and repel. And you know, through her lessons, you can see that even when she's talking in front of a camera, she's using her body language or gestures to I really like her interaction with the kids, because, you know, she was using her body language to help kids understand what repel is and attract with her magnetic board.
Card. Yeah.
And so her interaction with the kids were great. And so kids at the time when I observed her class, kids, that was their very first time learning science and English, right?
Mm-hmm.
How you know, so how did your kids, the children, take it? Did they think it was odd to learn science in English? Or did they like the science class taught in English? Did you ask them if they would like more science class taught in English?
Yes, after class, I asked students, do you know what I say? Do you understand what I say after class? And then they all said yes.
Yes, because your class is fun. It was fun. Yeah. And in the concepts of repel and attract, not only were you demoing in class, asking them to all pull up their resources and finding items of magnetic and non-magnetic objects. Yeah. Try it out for us.
Yeah, okay.
Find any
body language
objects that, you know.
And I demonstrate the students attract each other and repel each other. Yeah.
Yes, really good. And those are different magnetic signs, right? Oh, that's with the so the same poles.
Yes, the same pole. Repel each other.
Repel, because S pole and S pole, they repel.
Yes.
The other one is
attract.
They attract, because that's the N pole and the S pole, they attract.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you've got different you know, cards just to demo what repel and attract mean.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. Yeah. So yeah, it was really fun watching you interact with the kids, and you know, surprisingly, so they are third graders.
Yeah.
Third graders. And when did they start learning English? First grade?
Yes, first grade.
First grade. And you know, so they they really like to, in the group work, trying out, you know, different things in their baskets.
Mm-hmm.
And also I like the poster in the end, asking them to stick it, you know, to whether or not this ruler is attracted to a magnet. This eraser is not attracted to a magnet. And sorting out magnetic and non-magnetic objects. Yeah. So was there any different, was there a part where you think it's difficult for kids to understand?
Maybe they know attract, but maybe they don't know the word.
So maybe they know attract, but they don't know the word attract.
Yeah.
Okay, they know the concept, but they might not be ready to say it yet.
Yeah.
So they know the concept. Of, you know, attract. And perhaps they know that in Chinese, right?
Yes.
What is attract in Chinese?
Attract, 相吸.
Oh, 相吸. And then 相斥. Okay, so in your class they are learning both Chinese and English. 相吸.
相斥.
相斥. They know 相吸and 相斥, and right now they're, you know, mashing it up with attract and repel. So they're they're acquiring both, languages
Yeah.
on the same concept.
Mm.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So does anyone from our participant have any questions for Lulu? She did an amazing job, teaching magnets, the unit on magnets to students in English. And it was the very first time her kids were learning science in English, and it went really well. I can tell from the students' faces and their interactions, and they were very excited.
Yeah, they're very
Yeah.
excited.
And it was very successful. Okay. Okay. You can save your questions for later if you have any.
Question?
I guess I've asked most of the questions already. So we're gonna, next is Alan Chen. Yeah, Alan Chen would like to introduce Air Takes Up Space, this
Takes Up
unit.
Space.
Is it the same it's for third grade?
Yeah, it's also for third grade.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's also for third grade. And again, we have Lulu, a science teacher, is using English to teach science, and Ellen here is an English teacher who has a passion for science and teaching science in English. Thank you. Take it away, Ellen.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everybody. So I'm Alan, and today I'm going to share my experience about my grade 3 science lesson, and the topic is Air Takes Up Space. And actually, yeah, this is it's also my first time teaching bilingual science class. So this is my first class. So I was really nervous because I'm not really majored in science. So I prepared a lot and take a lot of do a lot of homework to make sure I'm not going to just teaching English, but just teaching English. Yeah. So the unit of this lesson is air, and in this lesson they're trying to learn about the property of air, like maybe how air feels like, how air has no smell, and this is the first lesson of this unit. So the very first class. So I'm just going to teach them about the Air Takes Up Space. So let me switch to my PowerPoint. Excuse me. Yes. So for my subject objectives, so I hope that student will be able to tell that we cannot see air, but we breathe air, and then air has no smell, and air also takes up space. So this is my subject objectives, and my language objective. I wanted for language for learning. Wanted to these words like see, breathe, air, smell, and space, because this is also their first time to having bilingual science class. So based on their prior knowledge in grade 1 and 2, they have already learned about wind in their not science class, life courses. So at that time, they went out to classroom to find and feel wind, and they made some toys like paper fans to toys about wind. So that's their prior language. But those lessons, they're all taught by Mandarin, so they might not be really familiar about the words. So I set up some words like air, breathe for the language for learning, and also the sentence like we cannot see air, we breathe air, air has no smell, and air, the most important part, air takes up space. And for my language for learning, I've set up some words and sentence they might pick up during the lessons. Those are instructions like, is there air and blah, blah, blah? Is there something in the bag? What's in the bag? And squeeze, touch. those languages also I will just do my like hand gestures or body language to make them understand those sentence, because they're only grade 3. They start learning English since grade 1, but they're just like learning some very, for their English lesson, they're just learning like very basic, like can you sing, can you hear, can you dance. They still have not much chance to experience that very long sentence or some like words. So, and
That's
for
why
the
that's why you were keeping your language short.
yeah,
And
right.
I really like it because you're trying to like squeeze it, touch it. What's in the bag? These are, you know, you keep it short. Like, let's prove it. Yeah, like 3 to 4 words in a sentence. Even with your language of learning, if you go back a slide.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, these are, we breathe air. Air has no smell. Air takes up space. So these are like short, simple sentences that helps them with the concept. And I really like it that you had really short, simple sentences for these kids.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, because I'm actually before this is also my first time, so I'm really worried about that they cannot understand what I said. So I spent a lot of time thinking about setting about my language to make sure to make them short or trying to let them understand, because in the class I found out that maybe like 70% of students, they can understand these sentences, but maybe like still have the 30% of students, they still cannot pick up those sentences or understand these sentences. So yeah.
So what you said 30% of students might not be able to understand we breathe air. So what did you use any strategies or Chinese to help them understand?
Yeah, I will show it later. So yeah, you know later. So let's move on. So for my language through learning, like just set up some words and sentences they might pick up during the lesson, but these are not my main language objectives. So maybe they will pick it up, or maybe or not. Like take a deep breath. I'm not really sure that they would know the word deep, but I will do it in the
Deep
activity.
breath.
Deep breath. Yeah,
Deep breath.
Yeah. And protect things, fill up space. I think that these sentences are a little bit not really easy for them. So, but I will just try to use my PowerPoint to make sure they understand these sentences. And if they really don't understand, I will try to use some Chinese or some Mandarin to make them to understand these. So now I'm going to share about my lesson planning, and I'll just use my PowerPoint that I use in the lesson. So, but I will take it short, but you can let's see. So first one, I also same as teacher Lulu, I'll also use a lot of questions. Just make sure they can clarify the facts about air. Like first, I will ask, can we see this? See, I'm not really sure they can know about see, so I also make pictures, so make them know that see means like look in your eyes. So I first want to try dog. They all know dog, so they would say, "Can we see this?" They all answered, "No, no." Yes. Sorry, yes, they can see dog, so yes, we can. And then, can we see this? I tried this one. So this is plant. So also yes, we can. And water, I put water in here because water is kind of like transparent. I want them to know that although water is transparent, but we still can see water. But how about the most important part, air? Can we see this? Some students, they already know air. This word, not much, maybe one or two, they already know, so they can answer this question. So I would say no, we can. But some maybe at this time, some students are still confused about this. But later I will say we cannot see air. Yeah, but we need air to breathe. So at this time, I just demonstrate breathe. I try to like try to make sure that they know about what brief is, but I just ask everyone to try to brief together, so make sure that they can know brief this word. So after that, I think they know what is air and what is brief. Yeah. And next, I said another question is like this: does a blah 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 brief? So first, does a plant brief? Actually, just learn about plants. At the last maybe a month ago, the unit 2, they already learned about plants, so they can answer yes. The plant breathe. They plant need air to breathe. And then does a cat breathe? Yes. And there's a rock. I put rock because plant and cat they're all living things, right? So a rock is not a living thing. So they answered no. Rock cannot breathe. Rocks don't need to breathe. Does a book breathe? Yeah, they all know that no. And so I make a conclusion for them. It's like living things need air. Living things, I just put Mandarin on it, 生物. Yeah, so they can know that. So I want them to know that living things need air. So we are living things also. So we need air. So we breathe air. But we breathe it. But so where is it? Where's the air? So actually, at this part, I said like kind of like a brainstorming. I want them to think about it. So, but I also said some questions like, is there air in the classroom? Is there air in school? And is there air in Taipei? So I want them to start from their classroom to school and to Taipei city. So just make it bigger and bigger. So is there air in Taiwan? Is there air on Earth? So let them know that air is everywhere. Yeah. But how do we know? This is the picture that when we doing this activity. So I want them to write it down. Where can they see air? But I also bet them if they cannot write in English, they can write in Mandarin, or they can write, or they can just draw a picture to that tell their classmates, where is air, where the air is. So this is the picture. Like some students, they just draw some pictures about. I think they're drawing like Taipei City because I saw Taipei 101. Yeah, so maybe they're trying to that their classmate know that Taipei City there's a lot of air. And some some students they just write the word Earth. Yeah, there's some like students maybe their English skills are better, so they just write Earth on the little whiteboard. Yeah, so there are many kinds of answers, and I want them to clarify that air is everywhere, but not on space. But yeah, I also tell them not on space. But some students, they might know that, but I think this is not the main objective. So I did not really say that really clear. I just say it, but not on the space. Oops. And later, next, I prepare a plastic bag. Yeah, so I let them know that this is a bag. And I prepare 2 bags. One of the bag is filled with air. One is not. One is not filled with air. So I just want them to touch the bag. I'll just take it on my hand and say, is there something in the bag? So I would take the bag to this students and let them touch it and answer it. I'm trying like many students, so they would just say yes for the bag and filled with air. They would say yes, and then I take out another one with a bag with no air, so it's like take it very flat, and so I take it to them and say, is there something in the bag? Student will answer no. But a very fun things happens that when I'm taking this class, students say yes, there's something in the bag that is not filled with air. They say bacteria. Yeah, so they say bacteria. I was like, oh, okay. Actually, I'm really shocked, but I'm really surprised.
I
That, yeah,
know that
yeah,
kid, that kid know like the word bacteria. This is a big word,
yeah,
bacteria.
yeah. No. Like, actually, the student, she answered in Mandarin, like
Oh yeah, yeah.
Xijun. Yeah, it's
Oh
the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Xijun.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What she said is true. So yeah, but that's not our main objectives about air. So I just say, oh yeah, that's right. But let's focus on air. So is there something in the back? No, right? There's no air in the back. So this. So I asked them about that. Does the air takes up space? So compare with the bag with filled with air and the bag with no air. So they know that air does take up space. And then later I asked them to smell the bag. I was just given the bag which is filled with air and take it to a student nose and ask, smell it, just smell it. Did you smell something? Most of students, they say no, but maybe one student say yes. She's so I asked him why. What did you smell? So he answered. He smelled the smell of plastic bag. Yes. So he answered. He smelled the smell of plastic bag. He said 塑胶袋的味道. The smell of plastic bag. So so I also asked a question about it. So it's like, is that the smell of air or the plastic bag? So he said plastic bag. So I'm trying to make sure that they know that air has no smell. That's just the smell. The smell you smell is just the smell of plastic bag, not the air. Yeah.
So kids, I remember kids were asking questions in Chinese and you would
Yeah.
always translate it into English and then answer them, right?
Yeah. Because some students, they will ask some questions in Chinese, but I will try to translate it again. Or I forgot it. And let me think about it. What did they ask? I'm not sure, I forgot it. Sorry, but
No,
yeah.
I think the odor that came out of the bag, you know, and being able to ask questions and clarify that's not like air, but it's the smell of the bag.
Oh yeah. That's the
I
example.
think it's good. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, and then later, so they already know that air has no smell, and then I take out this bubble wrap. But the bubble wrap, because why I choose bubble wrap is because they all know these things. They see it through their life. They can find it at home. But I think this is a very good example to show that air does take up space, because bubble wrap, inside the bubbles there are a lot of air, and when we squeeze it, the air comes out. So I think this is a very nice materials to let them know about that air does takes up space. So I also asked them, bubble wrap, what can bubble wrap can help us too. So they can protect things and they can also fill up space. So I bring a box and just show them when we like having some package or there's some delivery here. So I would just take it out, but also see the bubble wraps around the things I bought. Yeah. So why do we put that bubble wrap inside the box? Because it can help us to protect things and also can fill up space. So I asked them, is there air in bubble wrap? They also say yes. Yes, air is in the bubble wrap. And later I will make them, next I'll make them into teams and groups, and I'll give them bubble wraps and a worksheet. And this is how some like explanations. So they have to share it with their group mates. like double-sided tape, paper box. I let them to put the trash inside the paper box, so just make sure that there a lot no there won't be a lot of trash everywhere. Okay, so I also demonstrate squeeze. So they will get each students, they will get 2 bubble wraps. Well, they have to squeeze one of them, so they have to do this task and make sure that they know that air does take up space. So they squeeze it, and this is my worksheet. So you can take a look. First, they have to squeeze one of the bubble wrap, and they have to stick 2 of the bubble wraps, one in the correct side. So the bubble wrap which is not squeezed, they will have to stick to the side with the bubble wrap with air. And the one they squeeze already, they have to stick it at the bubble wrap with no air. So, and they also have to write down the answer, what comes out from the bubble wrap. So they have to write air. So I want to make sure that they know the air, this word, and what comes out from the bubble wrap. So
That's a lot of fun.
yeah, because
everybody likes
to squeeze it. Yeah, me too. I like this really like fun things for them to do. So they're really excited to do this. Yeah, and these are some photos when they're doing it, but they're just squeezing the bubble wraps, but the picture is not really clear, so sorry, but they're squeezing them. I think they're having a lot of fun, and I can show everyone that their work here. So this is one of my students. So as you can see, these bubble wrap with air, they're still full of the bubble wrap still full of air. But this part, they all squeeze it, so it's bubble wrap with no air. So I think they all did a quite great job about it. They all know it. Like the students, they all can know that, oh, they have to stick the one with no air here and the one with air here, and they write down the word air. Yeah. So thanks. Okay, let's go back to my PowerPoint. Yeah, I also write down the steps. So squeeze, stick, and write. So just trying to make my sentence very short, to make them too easy to understand the steps. Actually, I plan to do a Q&A time at the end of class, but at that day, actually, when we finish doing the bubble wrap, the time is already not much. So like this part I didn't do it. But I was trying to plan to ask them some questions again to make sure that they all know the objectives that what we are going to learn today. So like air takes up space, yes or no. They don't have to like write it down. They just have to do it with their hand gestures like yes. So they do a circle. So no, just give it a cross. Like air takes up space. Yes. Air has no smell. Yes. We can see air. No, we cannot see air, but air is everywhere. Yeah. And living things need air. Yes. So what I see about my first bilingual science class, I think by simple questions, most of students, they could really understand the main idea of the lesson. Yeah. Some students, they might not really know at the first time, but if we keep asking them the same questions or using something to compare it, they will just know it. Or sometimes their classmates will help them to understand what teacher's saying. And also teachers are more, I think students are more concentrated when language turn English, because like when English is not really, they are not really familiar in that situation. So when the class is all teach in English, I think they're more concentrated because they're maybe they feel a little bit nervous about the class. So I think at that class they are more concentrated. And through trying and experiencing, I think students really understand air takes up space. Yeah. So that's my sharing. Thank you.
Yeah, this is wonderful. Can you go back to your last slide?
Yeah, sure.
And we have, for those of you who are in our Zoom, you know, although we are on Facebook Live, but since you're here with us, you can, you know, I encourage you to ask questions and take the mic and join our discussion. Yeah. So yes, Ellen,
Yes.
I think you've done a very good job, you know, using simple language in helping kids understand the concept of air and building from, you know, your beginning of the beginning of your lesson, building up, you know, if you can breathe air, you can see air, using a lot of different examples from their prior experiences. So I really like that part of your lesson, and you've put a lot of effort into it. And you said here that most of the students understand the main idea of the lesson, and that they would concentrate more because this is not given in their mother tongue, and it's given in English. And my question for you is, were there any students who were not comfortable, you know, learning science in English, like after you've taught this lesson, or, you know, were frustrated from learning because it's in English?
Actually, before the class starts, I have already let them know that we're going to have a bilingual science lesson. And I've asked them about it. And at first, before the lesson, they think they're really nervous. They asked me a lot of questions like, can I speak Chinese? Can I speak Chinese? Is there any Chinese in the lessons? What if I don't know? What can I do? They asked me a lot of questions about that. But I think after the lessons, I asked them again the same question. Are they, how about after the class? How do you feel about the bilingual science class? I think most of them, maybe like all, they know, they understand. I think they also surprised about themselves that they could understand those science knowledge by English. I think they're also surprised by themselves. They did not expect that.
So kids, have faith in your kids. They do understand, right?
Just try to, maybe we can just try to simplify some sentence. But because this is the first class, I think maybe if we keep doing this, like many units or many class or for a semester, maybe they would feel more comfortable about it, and they'll feel more confidence about learning the science in English.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, thank you for share screening. And if you stop share screening, then we're gonna invite our participants to say something, or you know, if you have any questions.
Yes.
So let's wait for it. So Julia, would you like to grab the mic? Because I know Julia said hi to us, and that Julia, you were invited by Lulu to come join us.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm really impressed. This is amazing to see two wonderful teachers presenting. Kind of like I've been away from Taiwan for too long, I think. So it's kind of shocking to see this.
Where are you right now?
I am in Canada right now. I am in Ontario, actually.
Wow, joining us from Canada.
Yes.
What time is it for you?
It's 8:54 right now.
Oh, wow.
At night.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome. My question is, I know you, both of you had a wonderful lesson. So how much time do you plan for each lesson? Like, what's the delivery for this? Is this over one session, or is this over a series of sessions? That's because it seems to be quite long. And
Yeah.
do you think children actually have the attention span to sit through such a long lesson? That's my number one question. My second question is, do you deliver your lesson in English the whole time, or what's the percentage of your delivery in English?
Thank you. Those were really nice lessons. So yeah, Ellen or Lulu.
I think if for the first question, I think if we put a lot of activities, not just like just directly speaking English to them, just only speaking English and just talking in English and not doing any activities. I think if we put a lot of activities inside our lessons, they will be concentrated and they will not just fade out, or because it's just English. Yeah. So
is this a 40 minutes lesson or 50 minutes lesson?
Like
40
40 minutes
40
lesson,
minutes.
sorry.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, and for the percentage of English, actually for my language, for this class, for the lesson I teach is actually about like 90, I think it's almost like 95% of English.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and the rest of the 5% is like for my lessons, like when something that they really don't understand and the way they are showing like their face like really confused, I would try to
simple English.
Yeah, use simple English, and if they still can understand, I will try to just say that in Chinese. So
I'm really impressed with how you use simple sentences, and it's really analytical, right?
Yeah.
You try to kind of bring out their prior knowledge to kind of fish for their learning, pretty
Yes.
much. I also like the body language, like you both use. It's really universal. It doesn't matter where you go around the world. Body language seems to be number one key to get kids' attention. So I also teach grade 3. In fact, I have grade 2 and 3 this year, and both of your lessons. I've been teaching for 25 years. So, these lessons that you just explained are pretty much the same lesson that we do here, except it just like we do this in English, and probably more in depth instead of just focusing on the language vocabulary. It's more of concept based teaching.
Yes.
But fantastic.
Julia, it's funny that you've mentioned about it's more in depth. That one of the concerns of us having bilingual science is that people think that because kids are learning in English that we have to dumb down the content, and simplify it, or it's not that, So can you tell us a little bit more how you think we might be able to go into more depth?
Well, I think, and that's why, I'm only having a snapshot of your lesson. I don't know how your curriculum is. I think, like if I were teaching about the properties of air, then I probably will focus on pretty much from the beginning, say, okay, air has weight, air is everywhere, and air can do work. So you would have a series of, all the properties of air, and then instead of just a lesson, probably will be kind of a unit plan. So this way you could carry out, right?
Yeah.
So when I look at the experiment, probably will be involved more instead of just the bubble wrap. Probably will be, say the cup filled with paper towel, push the cup in the water, or air can do work. You might use a balloon to, to kind of push that type of thing, just make it fun. And to me, um, I guess growing up in Taiwan and now I'm teaching children here, it's really, it's kind of learning the best from both worlds, because, the way we learn and then the way now I have to deliver to my students, how to engage them. And that's what I think the holistic unit is really what we're looking for. So if that's what you want to do to be more in depth, I would say get a few science teachers together, plan the whole unit, to think about what you could do for the children there, because you're not teaching the science purely to native speakers. You're teaching these native speakers already learn science in Chinese, in Mandarin, and now they just kind of review the lesson again, in English. Am I correct?
Well, actually, they're
Absolutely.
learning the science anew, like in the language.
Okay, so they
Yeah.
don't have any prior knowledge about air or
No,
magnets.
no,
I
that's
thought.
no. Sorry. The only prior knowledge is about the wind. That
Okay,
they
the
learned
wind.
in life courses in grade 1 and 2.
I see. Yeah, so so if that is the case, then a unit plan will be a better idea. So it's almost a cross grade level. You need to have a series of planning, from grade 1, 2, 3, to see how you can bridge the concept. So
Thank you so much for your feedback, Julia. And
you're welcome.
yes, those are wonderful suggestions. And this is what we're doing. We're through Electronic Village Online, Scientific Literacy and CLIL are pulling together science teachers and English teachers together in building up lessons in science delivered to English language learners like Taiwanese students here.
Right.
And today we have a science teacher, Lulu, using English to teach science, and an English teacher, Alan Chen, trying to teach science in English as an English teacher. And like you can see that they've put a lot of time and effort into it. And yes, and we would like to see these lessons becoming, forming into units, and so that we could bring students a more enriching science lesson to the kids. But I think this is a great start. And that, science teachers can join us in teaching science in English, and English teacher can try and teach science.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
both of you are very,
Absolutely.
you're setting a great example for us. A lot of people are saying, oh, science is too difficult for kids to learn in English, and you're proving them wrong. At least I hope, yeah. So yes, thank you so much for the time. Julia, thank you for joining us from Canada. And we also have Jamie Ting, Michelle here, Patty Yu, Yen, right? Our teacher, teacher Wu, Xu Rushen, and Tao Yue joining us in Zoom. And also we have people joining us on Facebook Live, 20, right now we still have 11 who are with us. Thank you so much for joining us. And we had a great session. Thank you too for preparing this live sharing. And please give us some feedback. I've sent a Google form link, and please give us some feedback so that we know if this is what you need, and we can do this some more in the near future. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to stop our live session. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Have a good day. Bye bye.
Happy Chinese New Year.
Happy Chinese New Year.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, Taoyue is from NTUE, NSC, Science Department. Okay. It's the first time he participated in English skills. It's not good enough to speak, but no, don't worry. Forgot to prepare a microphone. Okay. That's okay. Thanks for joining us. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna stop. And stop streaming. Okay. All right. Okay. Sorry. I need to find my Facebook page.
The Zoom is still on.
Okay, hold on. I hope I have stopped the live streaming.
Yes. Live video has ended.
Oh, great. Okay. Yay. Okay.